Hello, welcome to another Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News. I'm Harry O. That's Jay, and we got a few guests here we're going to introduce here in just a second. We want to thank CG Public Health. They are located out at the Plaza West Shopping Center. They're out there by Hobby Lobby. They are the sponsor of our Fox 411 and Kiss Country Neighborhood News. cghealth.com is the website. And here we are today with a few guys here that are from Forest City or that in that area anyway. We have Troy Thompson, the director, and Donovan Johnson, music director, and we also have the very funny Nate Forsberg, who's joining us as well, as they are presenting a production called "The Best Christmas Pageant Ever."
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be happening at the Boman Fine Arts Center, which is actually going to be in the, well, you have your own theater inside there. And for more information, I'll just tell you right off the bat, it's Brick Street Theater. Remember, it's R-E at the end of theater, not E-R.org. Yeah, Nate, what's the difference between those?
Fanciness.
ER is movie or?
You can't ask me questions like that right out of the gate, Harry.
It's like
I don't know.
Shop, the extra P and the E, just extra stuff.
It's exactly. I
guess I wanted some comedy coming out of you right away.
Well, this is it.
Come on, turn it on. Get the comedy going.
That's what I said first was fanciness. It's just fanciness. Yeah. It's more fancy.
That's right.
It's higher. It's higher art, Harry, is what it is.
It's higher art. Okay, now I got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Well, we've talked before, Nate. Obviously, you've had a couple of different productions a year. And now the best Christmas pageant ever. So let's jump right into it. Okay. You want to introduce us to these two directors here?
I sure do, yeah. So both Troy and Don are long-standing Forest Cityites. Both of them grew up in this community. Troy and his wife, Heidi, who are deeply involved with this production, have been big supporters and involved in a lot of Brick Street performances. So Brick Street Theater is our community theater here in Forest City and in the surrounding area. We've got folks involved in productions all over North Central Iowa, Southern Minnesota, and especially this one. We have nearly a cast of thousands, it feels like, for this show. Not quite, but we're close. We've got the largest cast ever in Brick Street Theater history.
Wow.
And Troy Thompson is our director. Don, as you mentioned, Don Johnson, he's our music director, super talented guy. Both of them. Troy is too. And so maybe Troy, I'll turn it over to you, and you can give folks a little info about the show that we're doing. It's a great one.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. The show is The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, based on the book written by Barbara Robinson, and it's a classic that has been read in, I think, elementary schools for decades. I heard it in fourth grade myself, and it has stuck with me. It's a story of redemption. It's a Christmas story that takes place in a typical church, whatever decade you happen to put that in. We put it in the mid 80s. That seemed to be appropriate for us.
And one of the best decades ever.
I mean, some things, some things,
but Def Leppard was hot. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I mean, come on,
AC/DC,
all of the good stuff. So I had, we just decided that this would be a fun show. So about 18 months ago, we thought, we said, hey, we want to direct this show, and it's a very, very short play as it's written, and about 70 minutes. But we didn't think that was long enough for a Brick Street production, a full-on Christmas show. So we decided that we were going to add 6 original scenes and a choir. It's not a musical. There is a musical version. We're not doing that. I thought that the music was campy. So we decided we were going to do the play, add 6 original scenes that include a choir. That choir is an all-star choir that's a collection of great singers from the North Iowa area. Donovan Johnson is in charge of the arrangements. He's got 7 songs that I think everybody will know, but they'll be surprised to hear how they're performed. They're just magnificent, and it's really quite a production. And then that choir helps us tell the story in a very unique way, and kind of bring it full circle, which is really cool. And so it is a huge cast. It's got 53 kids. We got 80 people. I think just over 80, including the choir. So it's a pretty large group of people, but they're working great. We're a month away, and they are off book, and they're just plugging away, and we're just perfecting it. This is a show that, well, Harry, you guys, you're never going to see it again. I mean, it's because of the 6 original scenes, the way we've decided to put this out there, the music arrangements that Donovan has put together. It's just a very, very special and unique show, and something that I think everybody will get a lot out of if they come and see it for Christmas, for sure.
Yeah,
Troy, it sounds like you've got a lot of pageant experience. Did you do that growing up? Did you?
I did. Oh yeah, I sure did. We had, in fact, I did the pageants with Don. So Don and I went to the same church growing up, and this is not our first time producing a Christmas show. As kids, he hates to admit this, but we did a Christmas pageant as a youth group that was based on a Star Trek theme. That if Star Trek had gone back to the nativity, because sometimes in the old Star Trek shows they'd go do that. And so as kids, we did this, and then of course we did several other little productions together throughout it. So yeah, you bet, we've done lots of it. And so all of the, if you've been a part as a child of a Christmas pageant in a church, all of this is going to ring true, because the Barbara Robinson story does such a great job talking about how kids act, letting them act that way. I mean, when you're directing 50 kids on stage and you're asking them to be a part of a rehearsal for a Christmas pageant, it's like a show within a show. There's not a lot of directing going on. They're just doing whatever they want. They're like 7 years old to 14 years old, and so it's fun to see them just kind of be natural in that setting. But it's this great story of these 6 kids who come running into a church because they're going to get free treats because they think the pastor's rich and everybody in town doesn't like him, and they thought the safest place to go was Sunday school because the Herdmans would never go there, and then they go there just in time to get cast into the Christmas pageant in the major roles, and then from there chaos ensues.
Sounds like my childhood.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, all right.
He's still into treats.
Yeah, that's right. Right. You go for the treats. Yeah,
right. That's why you go into work every day, right, Jack?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Donovan, as far as the music goes, okay, so the choir involved. So what did you do? Just rearrange some classics here, or explain what you are doing, I guess, with the music involved?
Well, it's been a combination of things. So I took some arrangements that I was familiar with, their contemporary gospel arrangements of Christmas songs. And several of them were doing exactly like that arrangement. They're very unusual, definitely not standard traditional style hymns. I warned the choir, if you want to just sing hymns out of the hymnal, this is not the place for you. That's not what we're doing. It's more. Yep. It's got to be more entertaining than that, and it's got to be more fresh, contemporary.
So we're not doing Kumbaya.
Nothing's going to sound familiar. No. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's going to. Yeah. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It all depends on how it comes out on the other side. We'll see about that. But,
right.
And then several of them I arranged myself. So we based them on the recordings and on the sheet music that I provided in the beginning, and then from there we kind of fine-tuned and tweaked and added our own flair. And then I took those things, all of those elements, back home with me, arranged it, and presented it back to them. So,
okay.
And along with that, we're doing jazz underscoring throughout the entire production as well.
With a live band that's jamming. So you're not going to see any show like this in this area.
We just keep the worship band right there in the church, and they just provide a soundtrack for the whole thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. You could say, I feel like this metaphor has been on my mind for the last few minutes. Musically, we brought in the big guns for this.
Right.
Are the titles the same?
Because of the gun on.
Even though the rearranged, the titles the same.
On there, yeah.
Right.
Try to point. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a gun-based joke.
That's a gun-based. That's right there. Yeah. We're all trying to figure out how to point.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a Carnegie Hall gun, is what that is. Don Johnson is what that is. Yeah.
Yeah. You play Carnegie Hall, they give you a Civil War rifle.
Yeah. I made sure to take that to New York with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take that on a plane and see how well it goes, even with your Gold Star license.
So are the titles the same as the original?
Oh yeah, the titles are all the same. It's just that the music is arranged in a very different way. The chord structure and the style of the chords, the harmonies is very different.
What are the songs, by the way, that are in it?
God Rest You Merry Gentlemen is probably my favorite in the bunch. Carol of the Bells, Joy to the World. I mean, a lot of familiar songs.
Little Drummer Boy?
Little Drummer Boy is not in there.
No.
Sorry.
You can do it. You could come and do it afterwards, Jay. You can maybe do it as an exit.
Underscoring is music that was written and arranged by Vince Guaraldi. And so if you're unfamiliar with who that is, he is the pianist and composer for the Peanut Specials. Charlie Brown and the Peanut Specials. So those songs are not necessarily going to be familiar. Well, I take that back. They'll be familiar to people because they've heard them in the Peanut Specials before, in the background. But they're not songs that you would necessarily have heard on the radio. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Should be pretty cool.
The music's going to be magical. I've heard them in rehearsal, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you should come for that alone. But then on the Saturday nights, we got something extra special happening too. So for the first time in Brick Street history, we're going to be doing a dinner theater. And this is going to be kind of an entry into the world of the Christmas pageant. So what we're going to be doing is we're calling this a dinner theater experience. So both Saturday nights of the weekend run, so the 9th and the 16th, you can get tickets to the show and tickets for a delicious catered meal and then a live dinner theater show, all for $40. Mind blown. What an amazing price, right? So you get 2 shows, a full meal, wonderful night out with your family, family friendly, hilarious comedy show. I can guarantee it's going to be hilarious. Completely original, but it involves some of the characters from the play. So we're going to pull you in. It's going to be a church basement potluck experience. You don't need to bring food. Just get your tickets and bring yourself, and then come enjoy this show. It's going to be a little bit sketch comedy, a little bit improv, a little bit dance and song, and a whole lot of other chaos is going to ensue.
Yeah, it's not a potluck, but it's going to definitely feel. So we didn't feel just like we didn't feel like the play was long enough. We had to add 6 additional scenes that we wrote. Right. We had to and different scoring. We thought, we need to add a church,
whole other show,
church dinner that people can go, and then add those church ladies in, and talk about those experiences. So the church ladies, I mean, they really provide some entertainment, not only in the main show, but on those 2 special Saturday night experiences too. So very good. Yeah, very.
You mentioned 6 original scenes. Well, it's actually 6 nights that you're doing this.
It's true. That is correct. I didn't think of that. I think I got tired of writing scenes, and I was like, "This is probably enough."
That's right. And they're all going to be what? Friday, Saturday, Sundays, right?
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Friday, Saturday nights at 7. Except the Saturday night show again, you can come 5:30 to 6:30. That's when the dinner is going to be, and then the show starts at 7. And then Sunday is our matinees at 2. Right?
Yep. Right? Yeah, that's right. That's when we do it.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's just the show on that one. Or is it
Friday and Sunday are just the show. Saturday nights are the dinner theater.
Right.
And then the show.
That whole experience.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wow. Well, this sounds like a lot of fun. And you mentioned the band. I immediately thought of Trans-Siberian Orchestra helping out on this whole thing. And how Donovan is rearranging some of the songs or whatever, to make it sound. Because I think, remember the first time you ever heard this rock and roll Christmas type stuff? They all sounded different right away.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, this is exciting. This is great.
When you hear when the crowd sings "Joy to the World" at the end, we can give that away. The last song is just to bring the crowd in and "Joy to the World." It starts off just like you'd expect it. Don plays the hymn, and then the beat drops, and it's awesome.
That's all we're going to give away, though. And I also can tell you, Trans-Siberian Orchestra will be making an appearance.
Oh, is that right?
In the dinner theater.
That's right. They will be. Yeah, they will be. Correct.
I mean, not the guys.
About that.
Not the dudes themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, they will be
Yeah.
present in
They
some
will
way.
be present.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
going to want to
Really?
experience it.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot
There
about
you
that.
go.
Yeah.
And all I was doing was trying to compare.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's just how
Hey,
genius
how
you
about
are.
Give you the credit
Look-
for that. Yeah.
Let me ask you. Okay, so I think you said something about, was there 6 kids? How many in the production in general, Troy? I mean,
So there's over 80 in the production. There's 20 in the choir. There's
Oh,
the
all right.
full group of the full cast is in that 68. Sorry, not 68. So in that 60 range. There's 53 kids involved. So there's
Wow.
7 and 8, 9 adults. Yeah, it's a look.
Abject
That
chaos.
sounds very chaotic, but it's
Yeah, it
actually
does.
been very good, and
Yeah.
they've been very fun to work with. So that's been a real surprise. That's for
What-
sure.
What's
Yeah.
the age group? What's the age group? All
I
the
think
kids.
our youngest is 5, and I don't want to say how old our oldest is, but I'm gonna guess in the pushing the 80 mark. Yeah, in that range. Yeah, so it's truly a community experience, and it's
Santa's up there,
yeah, Santa's. Yeah, some of them knew him. Some went to school. Some of them might have been in a pageant with Santa. We know back in the day. Yeah, when they were kids.
That is old.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, let's tell everybody where to get tickets and how to do all that, Nate.
Yeah. So tickets go on sale tomorrow, Wednesday,
Okay.
November 8th. So you can go to brickstreettheater.org, again, spelled the fancy way. So Brick Street Theater, RE in the end there, .org, and get your tickets online. You can order them for the any of the shows, and then also the dinner theater experience as well. So
Yeah. All the choices are right there. You just got to check which one you want.
Exactly.
Well,
Pick
that's
your
great.
seat. It's assigned seating, and so nice to know where you want to sit, and we're gonna fill it up.
Exactly.
What
Yeah.
did
If
you,
you've never been, the Boman is a beautiful theater to take in a show. It's
What's the capacity for that?
650.
650?
Yeah. So let's see if we can fill up every single show.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
that'd be
do it.
awesome.
Sell them all out. I'll bet you have people going twice.
I bet we will.
I bet you
Yeah,
will.
there's a lot of 2-time, 3-time show
In
goers.
case you missed something you didn't see the first time, you know?
Yeah, that's right.
Never know.
Well, and you never know when somebody's going to go, line.
Yeah.
That's why that's why I was never in theater, because I could never remember my lines.
Yeah. Well, you don't have
just
to.
do
Yeah.
improv then, Jay.
Yeah. Then you could be in it could be a Nate show. Yeah.
You know, but they didn't like that improv that I did. Yeah. Like,
I know you guys do different directing, but Troy, do you work with Donovan when you're putting something like this together, or do you guys kind of do your separate thing and then you put it all together?
So these guys, I've directed a few shows and done different things for Brick Street over the years, and I've learned that it's just better to delegate and trust. Okay. And so you put a guy like Don in charge of the music, and he just takes care of it. He runs some things by me. I think we make sure that we have the same vision, but then I don't get involved with his stuff. I like to stop in and watch his rehearsals because they're just amazing to hear. And then we do have those scenes are with the choir, so we do some actual acting, directing in there too. And then Nate, it's the same deal. It's like, hey, here's what the concept is. There is no script. It's improv sketch. Go at it. And so they create it, and they run stuff. They let me know what's going on, but they have the reins on that stuff.
Yeah.
How long you been working on this, Donovan, for music?
I started probably mid-August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started the previous August, but he's much faster and talented than I am. Yeah, so for sure. Yeah.
I think it's so funny. I look at his name, Donovan, and all I keep singing is Mellow Yellow.
Yeah, right.
Call me Mellow Yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you combine that with the fact that my last name's Johnson, so Don Johnson.
Don Johnson. See, no matter what, you're a star.
Little Miami Vice theme there.
Tubbs is just around the corner. I've never heard that one before.
How about you, Troy? When did you start working on this?
Yeah, so I think about a year and a half ago, to be honest with you. We said this is the show we'd like to do, and of course Brick Street has to choose to do that, and they have a selection committee, and then for shows, and then they came out with that to be the year, and so that was exciting. And my wife and I, Heidi, my wife is she's the prop mistress. She doesn't like that title. She's the prop director. And
She doesn't like being the mistress, huh?
No, she's
No.
but she's just phenomenal at that stuff, and the set dresser. So she likes doing that stuff, and it really makes the details are just so amazing. We took because we knew we were going to do this show, we're so dumb. We went to Chattanooga, Tennessee to see the show because their regional theater was doing it, and we knew about that show because theirs had already out. So we saw that last December. And I think Mason City did it last year, a version of it. So we could have gone and seen it in Mason City, but we went to Chattanooga, to see it because whatever, fun trip. Yeah,
I think we probably did. Did Tom? You mean Tom did it at the Children's Theater? Or
I didn't see it, so I hate to admit, but I thought they did do it last year.
So I'm kind of wondering if they did, but
Yeah.
Well, it's the best Christmas pageant ever. How about that? And I guess you got to come out and see what makes it the best, right?
We sure do.
The best Christmas pageant.
The best.
Right.
It's better than best.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah.
And you're going to be very, very happy that you did.
That's right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you much, and good luck to you. And I'm sure you're going to get a lot of people out there. And let's pack that place for them out there at the Boman Center.
Yeah.
And again, it's December 8th, 9th, 10th, and 15th, 16th, and 17th for all the people that are listening to this on our podcast here. Brick Street Theater, that's an R-E at the end, brickstreettheater.org, O-R-G. Troy Thompson, Donovan Johnson, and, of course, you, Mr. Forsberg, Nate.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Terry.
You betcha.
Merry Christmas.
Brought to you by cghealth.com. And we are